My name is Carlton Cartwright. I'm the Executive Director for the Children's Coalition Incorporated. My sound technician is Reuben Sparks, and we are here today at Sims State Veterans Nursing Home, located at 4419 Tram Road yeah. in Panama City. Zip code is 32404, and we're here interviewing. Sir, what is your name?
Smith, James Smith.
James Smith. And James, how old are you?
I'll be 89 next month.
And when is your birthday?
23 October 30.
Okay. And I take it this is your address now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. And what branch of the service were you in?
I was in the Air Force.
Okay. What year did you enter into the Air Force?
January of 51.
Okay. And when did you get out?
In May of 1971, I believe.
Okay, got it. And why did you choose that branch?
Why, I don't know. Back when the time was coming, I didn't want to go in the Army, so doing it back when they was drafting people, and then I decided to go in. We had several of us from same town enlisted, but then, you know, in those days you had to wait on your turn because services filled up so much, you know.
Uh-huh. Okay. Where were you living at the time when you went into basic training?
Well, I was living in, let me think, down here at Route, it was some of a little place called Monroe's Dank's Corner. My father had a little farm down there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know if you're familiar with Ocala.
Yeah.
Okay, and you go south on I don't know what you call the road now, but it used to be the old 88 right in this town there. Right before you get to you go to Monroe's Corner, and then next corner is Dank's Corner. We had a little farm down there. He had about 60 acres.
Okay. Okay. And so, where did you do basic training?
Lackland.
Okay, in Texas, San Antonio. Yeah. All right. And how was basic training? How did you get through it?
Well, that's pretty good, but we had to live in tents in those days. They didn't have no barracks available.
Uh-huh. So, how many weeks did you go through basic?
Gosh, you know, I can't remember.
Okay. That's okay.
Whatever it is, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I can't remember.
Right.
I can't remember.
Okay. Where did you go to tech school?
Well, first I went to Mississippi at radar school. Well, it was shore. They call it shore ran in those days. And I didn't do too good, so they transferred me over to aircraft maintenance school it was still in 1951.
Okay. And what was your AFSC?
Well, I retired as a 43190, but I had my 43171, which was a recip aircraft. And 43E was for the jets.
Oh, okay.
In those days.
Uh-huh. All right. Did you go on leave any time while you were in basic or tech school?
No.
Okay. All right. Were you in Biloxi? Is that where tech school was?
Well, I went in there for a while, but then I come back to A&E school to Shepherd in Texas.
Oh, okay. All right. Where was your first duty station?
The car's full.
Is it? Yeah. Hold it. Pause. Testing. Okay. Let's see now. So, where were we?
You was talking about going from Keesler, Biloxi to the base in Texas.
Okay. Why did you have to go to Texas again?
Well, I went there to go to A&E school, aircraft school.
Oh, A&E. What is A&E? Aircraft
and engine, yeah.
and engine. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so how long was that school?
You know, I can't remember, 4 or 5 months,
Okay.
6 months, something like that, I'm not sure.
So
Shepherd,
Shepherd, yeah.
Shepherd's in Texas?
Wichita Falls, Texas,
Wichita
job in
Falls,
now,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So first duty station, where was that?
It was at Perrin Field in Texas. I was in a B-26 outfit there, which they used a lot in Korean War. We was a combat ready outfit. And as the Korean War slowed down, they decided we wasn't going to be called up. So they moved us to Oklahoma for just a training. When, you know, they didn't have many jets, and they the B-25 and B-26, they used it as training up there in Enid, Oklahoma, Vance.
Okay, how long were you there?
I was there approximately 3 years, or maybe 3 years, maybe 4, I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, I left there and I got orders to go to Iceland.
For what?
I was in the Air Sea Rescue, 53rd Air Sea Rescue.
And how long were you there?
1 year.
And what did you do while you were there?
Well, I was a flew engineer for a while, and I was an inspector job. And then we went in and had to go into a lot of bases. We went into Italy and tried to pick up find some people in the Alps, and then we had to go in and help rescue a Norwegian ship over frozen in over in Greenland. So.
Okay. All right. And you were there for a year.
1 year, yeah.
And what'd you do after that?
Well, then I come back to Biggs Air Force Base in El Paso, Texas.
And how long was that tour?
Got there 56. I think I left there in 67 or 68. I was there about 8 or 9 years. And I had a couple homes there, and then I got orders to go to, they closed the Biggs down then, and they sent me to Puerto Rico.
For what?
Well, then as I went in, I became a master sergeant, and they moved me up to out of the B-52 and went to KC-135 outfit as assistant maintenance superintendent.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever go overseas?
I went to Vietnam.
You did. What year was that?
In 1970.
Uh-huh. How long were you there?
I was there a year.
What did you do?
I was in charge of the fighter ships. The 7th Air Force recip fleet there. They had jets and they had some recip. I was in charge of that.
Did were there any casualties in your unit?
No, not to my knowledge.
Right. Okay. Where was the last? Oh, Puerto Rico. After Puerto Rico, where'd you go?
No, after Puerto Rico, I came back to Louisiana, to Barksdale.
Uh-huh.
And I stayed there for a year, and that's when I was only there a year, and that's when I got orders to go to now.
Okay. Okay, and I'm sorry, but again, tell me, how long were you in Vietnam? 1 year?
1 year, yeah.
Uh-huh. And anybody get hurt? Any accidents? Anything like that up to this point throughout your service career?
No, not where I was at, because we just got over that tet season.
Uh-huh.
That only happened about a year before we got there, when they had that tet season, you know.
Yeah.
BC'd come in and try to take over, you know, the base. They figured if they took over Tonsanute that they would win the war, you know. Mm-hmm. Well, they finally did anyway, but yeah, I was at Tonsanute.
Okay. What was that like? What was it like being there?
Well, it wasn't bad. We could go off. We had to go off base to make a phone call to call home, but you had to be awful careful though, because you know the kids and all with their homemade bombs and stuff. You knew where to go though. It wasn't bad. I didn't have no problem that year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. How did you stay in touch and throughout the service? Did you stay in touch with your family?
Yes. I didn't call them as often as I should, but I did.
Okay. All right. Where did you go to for vacations while you were in the service? Get a break?
I really can't remember now.
Hmm? I mean, you got to travel a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, I traveled a lot, but I can't remember where we went on vacation.
Okay.
Well, I know I went to California a couple of times, and my son, I had 3 kids, and my youngest daughter, she passed away when she was in her 40s, though, and then we went out there. I had a guy that worked for me. He got decided to get out and go into the aircraft business and civilian life, and we went out to see him. But we went in. I can't remember where all we did. That's pretty hard to remember.
I hear you. Okay, so after Vietnam, where did you go?
After Vietnam, I stayed in El Paso for about a year, and waiting on my son to graduate. My son to graduate. He had applied for the academy, and he didn't get the Air Force. They offered him Navy. He didn't want it. And I don't know. I took as a service advisor for a Volkswagen dealer there for a while, and then I decided to go back to Ocala, Florida, where I grew up, and we moved back to Florida then. Then I worked a while, and I run production for a mobile home company for about 15 years.
That was after you retired?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Did you use your GI Bill?
Did I use it? No.
No? For school or home or nothing?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. Did you make any, so how was the food throughout the service anyway?
How was what?
The food.
Well, you know, it was pretty good, but I didn't eat too much except when I was up in Iceland and when I was home, my food. And other than that, I can't remember. I think it was all right. I don't remember griping about it.
Okay. All right. All right. Did you make any lifelong friends from being in the military?
Yeah, I did. One guy that worked for me there in Biggs, his name was Ron Wiggerson, and we stayed in touch. And I had a couple of guys too that when I was having problems with my airplane having nothing to do, and I went to my commander, told him I need some help, and so he said go to personnel. So I went to personnel and picked all the names of guys I knew, and I had them shipped down to San Sanu. Then I got phone calls that night, guys cussing me out.
Okay.
But yeah, some guys I had worked with, because I stayed in Biggs the longest, about 8 or 9 years.
Uh-huh.
And they was all friends of the families.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Ron, he used to take my kids to the movie, and he became just like a son almost. Because he went to me when I used to go out to the academy and visit my son when he was in.
What academy? The Air Force Academy?
He was in the Air Force Academy.
Okay. Congratulations. Tell me 2 of the most impactful moments in your military career. Give me two things that you have not forgotten. That major things, you know.
Well, one thing I haven't forgotten, when I was in Biggs, I had a couple, 2 1-3 degrees, and they wanted to turn it around, but the man that dropped to push the button and dropped to you, top it bomb. Oh no! I want to kill my voice to catch up. Nakasaki, he was my director of plant maintenance, and so him and I used to get up and get in the ball too. But that's one thing I remember. Remember him as dropping that bomb.
Uh-huh. Okay. You got one more?
Well, I don't know. I guess that I had a pretty good life in service. I don't really recall a lot anymore.
Uh-huh. I hear you. Where were you when you separated?
Out of service?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I retired out of NOM. I put my papers in NOM. Everybody said you can't, but I did. Because I didn't want to move my son out of high school, you know, because he was in the last grade and he wanted to get that academy appointment. So I was thinking about my children then, and so I said, no, I'm going to call it quits, because I had over 20 when I went there. And so I said, I'm going to call it quits, you know, and help them have a life. But their mother did a good job of taking care of them.
Uh-huh. Where were they living?
Pardon me?
Where were they living?
They were living in El Paso. What had happened when we come back to Puerto Rico, we went to Barksdale. And when I got orders, I was home in El Paso, and I was renting it out. And my wife wanted to go back to El Paso, so I called the realtor that I had handling. I told him I need to get my home. She said, you can't, they owe you rent. And I said, forget about it. But anyway, so I moved back to El Paso.
Okay.
And she had friends right there in the same neighborhood. So it was good. It was good for her and the kids.
Okay. Hold on one second. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions.
Okay.
Put that on pause. Sound. All right. So, you feel okay?
Yeah.
All right. Good. Oops. Oh. Okay. So anyway, did you got married before or after you went into service?
After I was in service.
Oh, afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so.
Yeah, I married a girl from Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. How'd you meet her?
I don't remember. We were just going out somewhere and we met. I can't remember what place.
Uh-huh.
But she's the only one I had. I didn't give her up. I stayed with her. And until she passed away here about 6-7 years ago.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Level. Uh-huh. And what are you kids doing now?
Well, my son has graduated from the academy. He's a retired colonel out of the Air Force, and he has a law degree, but he quit practicing law, and he's just going to see his daughter and his granddaughters, and my other daughter in Key West, and she works with the state. She's ready to retire. She's 64 now.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to work a couple more years. And their son-in-law, my son-in-law, his father was in here, but he passed away about 3 months ago. But homes are still all messed up. Him and the contractor not doing a very good job at it, I don't think.
How'd you get along with officers?
Oh, I never had any problem.
No.
No. When I was flying, this and that, we just treated each other as if we were just friends, you know.
Right. I see you did reconnaissance in where'd you do reconnaissance?
I did it in Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Yeah.
What was that all about? What was the recon all about?
We flew up in to pick up the reconnaissance flights and fly in and pick up what had happened with the U bombers that day, and pick up the results and bring them back so they could plan their mission for the next day.
Uh-huh. And how How often did you do that? Was that your job every day?
No, I didn't do that every day. I just did it a few times there when they were short of people.
Okay. What did you do otherwise?
Otherwise, I just made sure that the aircrafts were ready to go when they were ready and the people did their job and knew what they was doing.
Okay.
I was in charge of the flight line itself there where we had our recip. And then we had jets, little jets that went up and flew those reconnaissance missions.
Did you witness a lot of casualties there?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay. All right. Any? Any at all?
No, I didn't really, not at all when I was there because they didn't bring any in. If they did, they brought them in a different section than where I was at.
Okay, I see. What'd you get the Bronze Star for?
I was a Bronze Star. Well, they give the Bronze Star to a lot of people that have serviced a lot of time.
Okay.
And it's a funny thing. I can't tell you exactly how mine was written up because my Bronze Star was presented after I had retired. I was on leave and the Holland Air Force, they sent it over there. But I didn't bother to read all my papers, but how he wrote it up. But they did it for just monetary service, I think. Mm-hmm. They did that to a lot of guys that were in a long time, was ready to get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not that
Okay. You were in the 7th Air Force Fleet?
I was in the 7th Air Force, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And you were in charge of what? One of your jobs was to check to make sure that pilots were fit to fly?
Yeah, and make sure the aircraft were fit to fly.
Okay.
I couldn't control the pilot. I made sure the aircraft was ready.
Gotcha.
And because then what we flew, we had to have a flight engineer on board.
What was Iceland like?
Iceland was cold, but I had a good job up there, and it was cold, and wind got up. You had a rope. If you went to eat in a mess hall, you had to hold on to a rope. And but I went into Kelfavik after we were leaving Reykjavik, and then they were all about saying the people were nice.
Did you ever visit Europe?
Yeah, from there our headquarters was in Scotland, and I used to have to fly into to Scotland there to do it, and we went and had to go into Germany, and I went into Germany, Scotland, and then into Italy. We spent a week in Italy searching. Then we had to go in and assemble a chopper and call for a 124 back in those days to load it in, take it to Greenland so we could rescue those people.
Rescue what people?
Yeah, the chopper went in, picked them up and brought them back in, and then we flew them out.
Oh, okay. Where were you rescuing them from?
We're from the iceberg, was out in the sea.
Oh, okay.
And that's why we had to have a chopper to hover down on their ship.
Did you do a lot of missions like that?
Not too many up there. That's about the only mission we had there like that. We had some other missions, but not like that was. That it took a lot of preparation.
Where were the other missions at? And where else did you travel to?
Well, after we went to Italy, we come back, and then we just flew in those days, the aircraft didn't have the navigation system they had today, and you had what they call a duck butt, and you had to fly out. If they let you know that a fighter pilots were coming in, you had to fly out to a circle, and we had a radio operator, and he dropped his bill so they could pick up their signal, so they wouldn't get lost at sea.
Right.
Because in those days, they didn't have what you got today in the airplanes, you know. So they had to use that. Because normally about the only they did to use was their compasses and dead reckoning, you know.
Right. Okay, so tell me where else you traveled besides Scotland, and you said Germany.
Well, and I went into Italy, and that's been the only places I went over there.
Right. Okay. Did you get any vacation or R&R while you were there?
No.
Yeah.
The only time I took a vacation was when I was in Vietnam.
Uh-huh.
Then I come home to see my family and went back.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, I asked you that already. Okay. You ever join or belong to any veterans organizations? American Legion, VFW?
Well, I was going to, but I've been belonging to the Moose for years down there, so I didn't join one, but I signed up here, but I didn't have no money to send in the payment because my son had all my checkbook stuff. I let him handle all my bills and stuff.
Right.
I let everything come to him, so I haven't signed up with them. They sent me one and told me how much I owe, but I have to get to them and get them some money.
Okay. Was that the Elks home? The Moose?
Yeah.
I mean the Elks? Yeah.
Yeah. I belonged to the Moose for quite a few years.
Uh-huh. I got you. Okay. Okay. All right. You got any stories you can tell us that might make us laugh? Anything humorous?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. You ever keep a diary?
Never know.
No. I got you.
No, I never did.
All right. Well, I just got a couple more questions. Let me ask you one. Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Well, I thought the military experience, not about the war, but I thought the military helped you prepare for different things in the civilian life that you can do, you know. But as far as war, I never thought about it that way.
And what was that job you said that you had when you came out of the service? What else did you do?
Well, at first I had a little job in the VW. I was the service advisor VW place. Then when I moved back to Ocala, then I took over production at a mobile home company.
Uh-huh.
They had mobile homes that come pretty big in those days there, and I hired them there. And I run production there for about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I decided to quit work.
Okay.
Well, matter of fact, I had to. My wife signed us up for a cruise, and they always wanted you to work, you know, late and Saturdays, and you know, I don't know how your job is, but some jobs they get greedy, you know.
Yeah. They don't want you to do anything else but work for them.
Work for them.
I understand. Completely. Okay, last question. How did your service and experiences affect your life?
Well, it didn't make them bad. I guess I thought it was pretty good because I didn't. Back then, we were making less than $1 an hour, so it gave you a little something. Of course, service didn't pay you a whole lot anyway either, but, you know, when I first started working a little bit, when I worked in high school, I played ball. I was a four-star freshman in sports, and I was also a star all-state football and basketball player in the 40s. But then, that become the deal, and I worked a little bit on the weekend when I get in from the ball game if I wasn't hurting too bad, and at a little stand they call Big Stand, and where the kids come and sit, and so I worked there. I don't know, he didn't pay me much, probably $1 a day or something. And then I took an old car my father bought me and cut it off of it. I was going to make me a hot rod. But I didn't get far enough along. I built it up and put a top on it, and I drove it for about a year. And everybody wanted to know what I was going to do with that. And I said, I'm going to make me a hot rod, but I didn't do it. But it drove good. The cops knew who I was and never gave me a ticket, even if I spun the wheels, you know.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for a great interview, and I also want to thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. And I'm sure you're a veteran.
Yes, sir, I am. Why did you say that?
Because most people are. Well, they don't, although they don't have the draft nowadays, but I look at your age and I'm sure you was a veteran.
Yes, sir. I served in the United States Air Force. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.